welcome everybody. Wanted to share my awesome weapon ideas. One second. Alright, so I've got 7 or 8 really mind-blowing and for the better game-changing ideas for weapons, healing items, upgrades. You'll see what I mean. This is really awesome. Let me just put in my chat disclaimer. Alright, so the first thing I want to say is I am an epic creator. I don't know how many epic creators there are. I'm not trying to brag or something, but other than being an epic creator, I'm basically a nobody in terms of YouTube gaming. I'm just one of the hundreds or thousands of people that stream Fortnite. But I do know that Epic watch people's streams and they get ideas from people's streams, things that people suggest. I do know that, right? So logic would only tell me that, you know, the odds of them watching my streams and getting ideas from my streams, the odds of that happening are 1 in a trillion, right? So maybe because I'm an epic creator, they thought, okay, let's go look at some epic creator streams that are titled new ideas, new weapon ideas, you know what I mean? Maybe that would be more of a logical reason that they would have watched these old streams that I did. What I'm getting to is I had these old streams where I talked about these new weapon ideas. One of them was a railgun. I described it in great detail. I had probably 3 or 4 streams where I talked about my railgun idea and a few other ideas that I had. And in the last 2 seasons we got the railgun, and it's basically exactly the description that I gave. Not 100%, but like 90% the same. I mean, I described it as like around the size of a rocket launcher, maybe a little bit smaller, obviously, right? That you hold it kind of like, you don't hold it like a rocket launcher, you hold it like a Gatling gun, right? That it wouldn't have really high ammo count, which it doesn't in the last 2 seasons. I actually gave it a lower ammo count, but I'm pretty sure you can get like 20 or 50 ammo to it. I think 49's the max, right? What else is similar? I specifically said that the uniqueness of the railgun is that it can go a firm trajectory without drop off and everything for a very long distance. So distance-wise, it would be the best, most steady weapon in the game in terms of sniping, which the railgun that we got was. I also said its primary, feature is that it would penetrate builds. And that's specifically like the unique feature of the railgun that we got. It cracks builds. It shoots people through builds. And that's exactly what I said should happen with the railgun. I said you should be able to snipe somebody that's behind a build, because that's what a railgun would do in real life. But I said that it shouldn't make a structure explode like a grenade or a rocket launcher does. I said it should go through the structure and perhaps crack it. I mean, it's like, I swear, it's like they watched my stream ideas where I had it all in the title, new weapon ideas, and I talked about the railgun. I swear it's like they watched it and they implemented it. That's what gives me hope, in pitching my other ideas in this stream here, right? And I think these are some really epic ideas, no pun intended, but awesomely mind-blowing, epic ideas that would be absolutely incredible to have in Fortnite. They also added that alien ray gun in the last season, which is very similar, very similar to another weapon that I described. I only realized it today in retrospect, like that is basically the other weapon I described. I didn't call it a ray gun, but it was a gun that shoots plasma or electricity in like a wavering beam. So that pretty much is. But and that's very similar to another weapon idea that I have for tonight. But anyways, I'll get started. Let me go check so that's a little intro. So I'll break down each of the ideas that I have pretty quickly. But as per usual, for my own record keeping, 1485. Okay. Let's also check out the item shop real quick. Okay, Skeletara. That's a pretty cool pickaxe. Actually, maybe not. To each their own, right? Drop in? What's that sound like? That'll probably be good. Balloon? I've never seen that. What in the world? That'd be good for camo, man. What? That is nuts. I have never seen that. Everybody hates on Flytrap. I think Flytrap is cool. Master Minotaur? That's pretty neat, actually. That's pretty cool, too. Chugga Chugga. Party Hips? That's, yeah. Frankenstein. And all the other Halloween ones again. Alright, well that's that. I'm gonna pick my most spunky character, which will be... Let's pick the one with the bunny rabbit. And let's go over to... but what I have to do, I have to rock the, have to use my noise. Alright. Okay, so my first idea. I mean, I'm serious, man. I'm super serial. These ideas are so mind-blowing. If they put these in Fortnite, it would be mind-blowing. I mean, the railgun is my favorite weapon in Fortnite to start with anyways. Not because I had the idea for such a thing, but it just straight up is my favorite weapon. And the gold railgun, in my opinion, is the best weapon in the game. But besides all of that, okay, this first item I think is so revolutionary, but it would be probably easily implemented, I would like to say, in the game. Picture a medium-sized bazooka, not as big as the rocket launcher, but what the bazooka does is it fires out a weighted net, like you see in, you know, say G.I. Joe type of movies, right? Like covert military ops type weapon. And what it does is it shoots a weighted net. And it doesn't do damage to the player, okay? Maybe you could argue if you shoot at close range and hits them in the head, maybe. But the main pitch of it is, let me turn the game volume down for my headphones. It shouldn't affect the stream. Right? You can't shoot it long range. It's not going to be super short range, but it's going to be like lower medium range. When you shoot it, you know, it'll go straight forward for a short distance and then will kind of arc. So if the person's at short to medium range, you would want to point it up so that it could arc down a bit. If they're close to you, you know, i.e. short range, then you could shoot it straight at them. It'll just launch straight at them like a bazooka and whack them, right? When the net hits the person, it would wrap around them, right? Very simple. It doesn't have to be a complex animation. Just bam, they are wrapped up in the net. And the only way to get out of the net is to use your pickaxe, okay, and to slash at it. You can't shoot at it because you're trapped in a net, but you can muster out your pickaxe, okay, and slash at the net. Now, it cannot be made out of wood material in terms of its, you know, resistance to damage. It would have to be of a metal material, hence more like a combat style weighted net to take somebody down, right? So it's kind of the idea like a bola, like a heavy weighted object that would take down an opponent, not necessarily meant to do damage itself, right? For anybody who's not familiar with the type of item type of thing I'm describing, maybe you've heard of a bola. Not Ebola, the disease. I'm talking about Ebola, B-O-L-A. That would be game changing because when these people run up on you, like they ramp up like the hard sweats, you could have this weapon stashed on your inventory, pop it out. You don't have to worry about taking them out with shotgun, this and that there. You just go, point it at them, boom, makes a nice popping noise like a Pringles can or whatever, like, boom. You know what I mean? Like, pop. I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, that air in the bottle sound, like, boom. And then it just, if you picture it, coasts out in a nice little arc, hits the player, bam, wrapped up in the net, and you get your prime time to shoot them, right? And they have to slash their way out. Excuse me. The person will be able to get out of the net relatively quickly because they just got a pickaxe. Excuse me. Really need a glass of water, but I don't have one here, so... There we go. So, that weapon... Oh, and the other feature that I thought about is it should only fire 4 shots. Okay? Meaning, you have enough to take out a whole team if a whole team is pestering you, but you only have 4 nets. If you shoot all 4 nets in a different direction and do not go pick them up, it doesn't have to be a picking up animation. You just walk over to it and press square. You know what I mean? You have to go and retrieve them, but you can hold and carry 4. Right? Let's see if I can bump these guys out of here. Hello, mister. Hold up. Can't think and do this at once. Speaking of my favorite weapon in the game, I got the railgun. Nice. I'll take that. Thank you, thank you. Anyways, so you have 4 shots, right? So if a team comes up to you, you could net all 4 players, which would also mean you could take out an entire team in one shebang-a-bang, right? So this would be pretty game-changing. It would be pretty epic, and it would really help, you know, players out. But you have to go retrieve the nets afterwards, or you lose them. That's the drawback to it, right? And maybe having 4 nets is too OP. Okay, if that's the case, I'll take the blue lever action. What is this? Oh, recon scanner. If having 4 nets is too OP because you could wipe out a whole team, fine. Maybe it only carries 1 net and you have to go retrieve it, right? But it's infinite ammo. Maybe 1 is the best, right? 1 net. But it's infinite ammo. I think that's an awesome idea. That's just my first one. That's not my most exciting idea in my opinion, but that is definitely an awesome idea. I kind of feel like there's something else down there. Anyways. I guess some more materials on here. Oh, someone's coming. Oh, that's just an item. Yeah, mate. Anyways, so that's the first idea. So let me go type that into the thing here real
quick. Party Royale Radio. Everyone wins.
Alright. So, the second weapon. The second weapon is similar to the ray gun, which, like I said already, is an idea that I had before Season 6. It was either before the Primal Season or just... Oops, did I swap something I need? That's always healthy. So it'd be very similar, in effect, that it shoots out a beam of electricity. However, this would be the chain lightning, right? So what this does is it acts like chain lightning. So when you shoot it, whereas the ray gun shot out a wavering beam, you know what I mean, of electricity or plasma, this, oops, let me get out of this circle. What the chain lightning gun will do is it'll be more sporadic, a little more wild and chaotic, right? And when it shoots its beam, it'll be more like, it'll be less like a ray or a beam, and it'll be more like, almost like a bolt of lightning, in a sense, but it won't look like a bolt of lightning, per se, right? The bolt of lightning branches out like little tree branches and all that. This would be like that chain lightning, ball lightning, whichever one it is. I might be getting mixed up. But they have like a main branch, but then they have like sub branches, and sometimes they bounce on the ground. So the benefit of the chain lightning gun is you could even point it at the ground in front of, say, a group of opponents. And when you fire it, by the nature of the projectile, essentially, it will bounce on the ground, and it could go, and it's not that it will scatter in multiple directions. It will to a degree, but not to a severe degree, right? It will act like chain or ball lightning, whichever one it is. It might be called ball lightning. But that would be good if you have a bunch of people running up on you at one time. It's not going to wipe them all out. It doesn't have to do high damage. I hope this person doesn't see me. No, they don't. It won't do super high damage. It's not that it'll do low damage. If you hit the person directly, it could do more damage. Say if you shot them close range, it would do like 60 damage or something. If they get hit by the scattering chain lightning or ball lightning on the ground, it might do 30 damage. But the benefit is you could keep holding the trigger, right? And the lightning will keep flying out until the battery pack runs flat, right? Then you have to let it recharge, kind of like how you have the turret guns now, right? I guess I'm gonna have to build here. Hope somebody don't shoot me down right now. They tried to. Where is he? There's no way that guy shot me with that. I have lots of ammo when I don't. That'd be hilarious if it was my team and I was just too dopey to notice it. Hold on, I'm a little distracted here. I might need to get a boat. I don't really want to. Chug splashes, I'll take that. Yeah, so anyways, the chain lightning gun, right? That chicken almost scared me. Hopefully I can jump and catch the chicken. I always forget what button you're supposed to press though. Oh, I got him. Oh shit. That's those people, man. Where are they? Where the hell are they shooting me from? What the f- Where are they shooting me from? I don't understand it. Why couldn't I see them? Man, my teammate better get me, man. Oh well. Guess he ain't gonna get me. Those are obviously the people I shot at. How are they just sitting there in the storm? They were running through the storm the entire time. How can they just sit there like that without cheating? What in the world? This guy has to die. There's no way he can survive this. So anyways, the chain lightning gun benefit is you can shoot it even at the ground. It will scatter to a small degree and get people in the immediate vicinity. Maybe like 10-foot span, something like that, right? It'll bounce off a little bit like little bowls of collected electricity, right? Like you'll see like an energy sphere, but have like a thick branch of electricity connecting it to the original branch, right? They get shot at. Those would be like little side branches that will bounce on the ground and zap people, right? That's pretty awesome. It could even theoretically ignite builds on fire. That would be pretty sick. That's my second idea. Oh man, I forgot to say. The other idea about the net bazooka is that you have the option of rigging it up to a tree. So what you do is you go up to a tree, and when you go up to a tree and look upwards, okay, up at the underneath of the boughs of the tree, the little selection will come up saying press square to attach, right? It would be like your secondary mode for the weapon, right? So you press and hold square, and what it does is it does a quick or an unseen animation of you attaching it to a tree. But you know, like when you press circle or however you do it, and it brings up like the build menu, so to speak, and you have that little overlay showing like the build panel and the orientation of it, and then when you press X or whatever, it actually builds it. Well, just like that, you'll have like a little visual overlay look like a capital letter L. You have a vertical line going up. This will show you where the drop line for the trap will be, okay? And then the bottom branch of the L will be pointing towards you, and that will be the trip line. So what happens is, like I said, you have the net bazooka, right? And you want to say get rid of the gun, sacrifice it, and use it as this trap. So you go up to a tree, you look upwards, the little option comes up saying press square, you hold square, it does a little zoop around, does a little circle sweep, you know what I mean? And then it's installed, and then you see the L overlay imposed on the screen, then you can direct it to the position that you want, right? Press X or whatever, it builds it, so it's locked in place. The strings will be invisible, so you cannot see them, because if you could see them, it would render the whole thing pointless, right? So there'll be invisible lines. It's a one use only, so that would justify having invisible lines, right? So you have a drop line, like I said. When it's installed, the trip line, which is attached to the ground, right, is connected to you like a tether line. It like automatically connects to you, and you walk around at a distance of, say, a radius of, say, 10 feet from where it's connected to the ground. The drop line's connected to the ground, and then you can manually select the orientation of the trip line in relation to the drop line. Okay, so you can kind of position the angle essentially of your trap under the tree. Okay, so that's a pretty cool idea. And what it will do in visually is you'll see your net bazooka mounted up in the tree. It will be pretty hidden, and unless you pick a bare bones tree, right? But it'll be stashed off in the tree. You'll see the face of the bazooka pointing down, right? But that won't be highly obvious to other players. You have to go right up under it to see it, but by then you'll have tripped the tripwire, right? So because you put it in, you can look up and see the little face of your bazooka pointing down, right? The tripwire is part of the weapon, part of the device, the drop line and the tripwire, right? So when an opponent player trips the trip line, which will only be a 10-foot radius. Okay, let me get a weapon before somebody kills me here. That makes it more fair. Like, you wouldn't want to have like a 20-foot radius. Like, that was just way overpowered. So, someone's definitely here. That's absolutely awesome. So the opponent will walk up, trip the trip line, and instantaneously, soon as they walk over the invisible trip line and trigger it, they get the bazooka gun shoot. I'm gonna die. How did they one-shot me, for heaven's sake? Ah. I'm not even gonna wait for my team. I don't have a choice now. Well, I can still quit. Anyway, so when they trip the trip line, the bazooka gun essentially fires, so it instantly fires. They won't have time to get away, right? Fires down, and it's all the same animation, just as if you're holding it as a gun and shooting it. It launches downwards, right, from its fixed place, traps the person in the net, and they hang from the tree in the net, right? Then they have to chop themselves out, like I said before. It'll be like they're chopping through a metal build. It's going to be quite a few swipes before they can break out. Be enough time for somebody who's laid the trap to spot their victim and to that sounds bad, but you know, to spot their opponent and to shoot them, right? To get a few shots into them before they chop out of it. And you could also argue that if you've mounted it in the tree, it'll be able to capture. I would like to suggest this. Maybe you could capture more than one person in it, but they would have to be walking right next to each other in the same 10-foot space. You know what I mean? Or even 3 or 4 people, but they have to be tightly bound together and all meticulously cross the tripwire. You know what I mean? In quick enough succession for the trap to capture them all. That would be pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in the final circles and they're looking for you and there's a little innocent tree, but you're hiding off in a bush or behind a rock and you just watch them. They're creeping around looking for you, and then bam, they're caught in the trap, and they get all ticked off, and they have maybe 5 seconds or 10 seconds to chop themselves out. They're frantically chopping, and then you just aim your AR at them and go pop, 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 pop. Right? That would be awesome. I don't think anybody could deny that would be an awesome idea. What is this? DreamHack Online Open Preliminary? I ain't getting into all that. So anyways, that's my, that was my first idea. So is that the chain lightning gun? The third idea, I don't know for sure if they have something like this already. They might be in creative. But in either case, it would be for a mortar, it would call it a mortar gun, but it would be a mortar cannon. And what you could do is, I'm kind of open it to being either. I kind of think they already have like a mortar cannon. I know they have the various different things like fireworks and different things, right, from creative. But in either case, you could, I'm open to it being more like a floor-mounted mortar cannon, so it would be more like it would launch upwards high at an arc, and you know, the explosive debris will come down on people. That's one thing that I'm thinking of. Or I'm also open to it being some type of like small mortar, small dual handheld mortar gun, right? It'd be like a small bazooka type thing. You could carry it, and what you do is you point it up in the air and shoot it like that. But it would be like less of an explosive round going up into the air, right? I think that would be a cool idea, because when people have builds, and you couldn't do it from super far away, right, unless you did the floor-mounted version, right, but you could, it might even map the arc out for you, and why not, right? That wouldn't be an unfair advantage. You can map the arc out with a little visual overlay. Here's where your arc is going, and then bam, you press X or the trigger button, whatever it is, and then the mortar round goes boom, flies up into the air, explodes, and then frazzles and scatters down and hits the opponents, and might even cause fire damage on the ground as well, right? That would be absolutely sick. You could knock out people's builds when they're trying to shield up and all that. There, just line up the arc, bam, boom. That'd be such a cool idea, man. I think the Handout Cannon is cool as well. Again, maybe it could have dual function. It'd be handheld, but in handheld mode you can't fire off a larger round. But then you could floor mount it. It would give a larger round. The trade-off is that for the higher damage would be and the increased range and all that. The trade-off for that would be that it's no longer in your hands. You're not running immobile. It's fixed on the ground, and you have to be nearby to pick it back up. You know what I mean? So, I think that's a cool idea. Let me get some stuff here before somebody snipes me out. So, let me type in that one there. Third weapon idea. There's a chest in here. Pretty sure there's a chest in there. Let me get these items and then I'll talk about the next one. I don't know where this is. It must be up here or something. Must be a roof. Where is the chest? I'm really confused. Where could it possibly be? I just broke the roof off. Oh, under the stairs? Ah. Okay. Anyways, my next idea, which is number 4. My fourth weapon idea is... I'm trying to think what to call it. I can visualize it and picture it. It's gotta have a short catchy name for its use in the game. Oh, of course, the level 159 guy dies. He's 800 meters away. Oh well, so much for that. That's what I get for helping a teammate. It always happens to me. Anyways, my next idea, I don't know, for lack of a shorter name, is Electrical Cloud Scatter Gun. I don't know. Scatter Weapon. I don't know, it's a terrible name, but an awesome idea. So what it does is it shoots basically a huge vaporous cloud that engulfs, the area of, say, 3 or 4 vehicles. Like, say, the same, like if you had 4 of these black cars parked next to each other, like a cloud about that big, and so it's like an electrified fog, and whoever's inside that fog gets zapped. And you have cool little zaps going around, not huge lightning bolts, but like zzz, be like an electrified fog. That's pretty awesome. And it's not like you shoot a vapor out at somebody. It'll come out quick and hard, like vwap, and then the cloud will just be in the area, right? So it's like a technological thing. Excuse me. And that's just an awesome idea. Again, if someone's housed up in a building, or in a build, sorry, this would be perfect weapon against them. It would just take a very long time to charge up. It might take, say, 30 seconds as a weapon, kind of like how Mythics do. 30 seconds, it's one-time use, blam, you leave the cloud. The cloud lingers for maybe 10 seconds, similar to how the, those, like, poison zombies leave their gas cloud in a certain perimeter and it damages for a period of time. It'd be like that there, except with cool little zappy sounds and visuals, right? That'd be pretty awesome. And that way you can get multiple people at once. Okay, my final weapon idea for today, I mean I have lots of other ideas, but just for today focus on one more. It's more like an upgrade feature. So what you'd have to do is, you'd have to do or achieve something in order to, I don't know if it'd be collect gold or certain materials, or maybe you have to collect metal and donate metal, I don't know, something, right? It doesn't have to be complex. But you can't just automatically do it. So you have to have this minor achievement, and what you do is you go take, hopefully that NPC is in here. I hated that raptor guy. He had all those grenades. I completely had a mind blank, forgot what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. So you have a vehicle, right? Maybe one of the conditions is the vehicle has to be in good condition, right? So you have a vehicle that's in good condition. Oh, here's a chest. And you'll take it to a garage, right? So you have to take it to a garage. When you take it to a garage, you have to satisfy some other condition. I don't know, whatever it might be, like gold, paying gold. Maybe you need to have a spare tire on hand as well. So if you have a good condition vehicle, say for example a spare tire, because that's already in the game, and that's included, right? Perhaps a certain amount of gold, right? And you're at the garage, you go up to maybe one of those toolboxes, okay? So a toolbox would have to spawn there by chance, okay? And you go up to the, sorry, let me just do this real quick. You go up to the toolbox, and if you're in proximity in a garage to a brand new vehicle, and you have the tires in your inventory, not on the vehicle, but in your inventory, and you go up to the craft box, be another feature that comes up, okay? it could either work like a little feature will come up when you open the toolbox, right? Because it'll sense that you have that item in your inventory, and so it'll throw you the option: do you want to upgrade the vehicle, right? And say if you're using gold, right? Or maybe you have to donate metal as well, right? But just say for now gold, right? Say you pay 200 gold to have like level 1 upgrade. So you do the level 1 upgrade and it'll do like minor things, like maybe put some mud guards, just really visual stuff. More aggressive tires, like off-roady tires, maybe give enhanced grip, right? But no enhanced performance, right? It might give you a little bit more raised look off the ground, more off-roady tires, and like a little off-road rally type grill on the front, and maybe a little something on the back, that type of thing, right? Level 2, say you're paying like 400 gold, it'll give you slight armor plating, not much, right? Like an extra couple hundred hit points or whatever to the vehicle. You won't really be able to tell that visually, right? So they could save on the visual work that would need to be done there. So you get the visual look really from the first level upgrade. When you get the second level upgrade, you get the visual look of the first upgrade, but you also get the unseen enhanced layer of armor, right? You pay for a third level upgrade, which would be the highest, whatever that might cost, say 500 gold. It'd be very expensive. You have slightly better armor, say you have, you know, 1 or 200 more hit points. Nothing dramatic. Oh, this is pretty nice. What I got? Pump shotgun. I'll take that. Hold up. I'm going to put that there. That's what I want to do. Okay. And then I'll take the shield potion there. And I'll take that there. Alright. Yeah. And then... that's good enough. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so let's just picture it, right? You go to the garage, there's a new vehicle in there, or you bring a new vehicle to there, okay? It has to have 100% hit points, it can't be damaged at all, right? You have one of the fat tires in your inventory, not on the vehicle, and when you open up the craft box, you get an extra option that comes up because it sensed your inventory, right? And it says, oh, would you like to upgrade to this or that? Little simple menu pops up, right? You donate you pay the 500 gold, sorry, right? And then bam, you have, you turn around, you hear the noise, you look at the vehicle, and it's all decked out like a Dakar rally SWAT style vehicle, you know what I mean? Maybe at level 3 you do see a little extra armor plating, but you know, that would be more visual work for them to put in the game, right? So maybe you just get a little simple visual upgrade level 1, and 2 and 3 just add extra armor, you know what I mean? But sorry, but level 3 would add performance as well, right? So a little bit extra armor, like I said, and after all, you're paying a lot more, right? But enhanced performance. So I would like to say, but it might be too much, maybe enhanced engine sound to make it sound more gnarly or cool. If that's too much work to put in, then fine, but at least, you know, maybe 10%, 15% more performance, at least, right? Doesn't have to be anything crazy, even like, you know, 15, 25%, anywhere in that range would be good, right? I think under 10 would be a little bit ridiculous. Now, can I get this guy here? Where did he go? What? How did he take me down so easy? That's ridiculous! How's it even possible? I had 100 health. He mowed me down in less than a second. That's ridiculous. I had a purple shotgun. They didn't have time to pull the trigger. But anyways, I was completely micing out there. That'd be pretty awesome, man. You know, you got the vehicle in the garage, you got the tire in your inventory, you know what I mean? You got enough gold, you get the little option, you upgrade, and you got the enhanced vehicle, you know what I mean? That'd be so cool. That'd be absolutely awesome. Everybody would love that. I mean, everybody would love that. Then you could have those silly, stupid cars and actually have them be more off-road worthy, right? Even more so than the monster truck with the monster truck tires. Okay, my first item idea. This, I really wish they would put something like this in the game. Okay, we already have apples in the game, so all of that's already incorporated. Make some apples. They don't have to be actually golden, right? Maybe they could be, that'd be kind of cool. But it's something like, you know, the mythical golden apple, right? You eat the apple and it'll give you life or whatever it is. You would have a rare chance to use something like this. And what would happen is, if you get down, falling around on the ground, you can't heal or do anything like that. If you happen to be near some exposed apples on the ground, you'll have a chance that one of them will be edible to you, right? None of the other, you know, healing items you'll be able to pick up, but there will be this one healing item that you will be able to use when you're down and crawling around. Okay, I'm just suggesting an apple just because it's simple, you know what I mean? Maybe it could be a special magic. Okay, I gotta watch what I say there. Maybe it'll be a certain type of mushroom, right, that'll have magical properties that you could eat. That would be also interesting. Maybe there could be both. Okay, there'd be like a healing, you have to be careful what you call it, but you know what I mean. A mushroom that could grow out in the wild, and if you're downed and you're around it, you can eat it and be saved, right? It would be cool to make a new type instead of using one of the ones that already exist, right? Everybody would like something new and interesting. You can make it purple, right? A purple mushroom. And then I also think it'd be good to have apples or whatever, right? So if you're in a market and there's people have knocked the apples out of the baskets, you could crawl around and one of them will be, say, the mythical golden apple. You'll be able to eat it, you'll eat it, and it'll give you just enough life to get you up off the ground and to run to safety to try to get something. And even if it only gives you 20 or 25 life, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just thought as well, you should be able to, if you harvest a basket and you get the golden apples, right? Maybe it would be cool to, it would be kind of cool for a name too, golden apples, right? And the play on the mythology. That is cool in itself. So I think it would be a good idea to have, say, golden apples, and not just, they look like regular ones, and you have to walk up to each to find out which one is edible. You know, say you're walking around harvesting stuff, materials and loot, and you hack apart a fruit basket, right? And the apples come out, and you see one of them has a golden type sheen to it. It doesn't have to be like brilliant gold. It could be like a yellow apple or something, right? It'd be cool if it is golden, but it doesn't have to be like brilliant. And oh, I think I saw someone run in that building. I have no clue where I'm gonna go. I'm just like floating around. Let's see if I can land on this wire here. Yeah. Okay, well I got that. So anyways, when you're looting up, you could say gather some of them, right? Maybe you can only gather one at a time. So you gathered up your mythical golden apple, right? Yeah, it could be a mythic item too. It's a golden apple. There you go. It all makes sense. It sounds cool, man. They gotta do this. The mythic golden apple. You can carry one at a time. Where's that chest? And if you already have it in your inventory, then you don't need the luck of being next one when you do get down. Do you know what I mean? That is an awesome idea. They need to do something like that. The next item idea that I have would be where is this chest? Here. The next item idea that I have is because this might appear to be more theme based, maybe, you know, it'd be kind of like a one-time or a seasonal thing, I don't know. But sorry, I'm just thinking, I'm trying to play here as well. I'm gonna swap for that. Okay, the final idea that I'm going to share is basically like a resurrection. It'll have a resurrection effect, right? You can only do it to a teammate, you can't do it to yourself. So it's not like the mythical map, right? So what'll happen is, you know, you die or something like that there. Sorry, your teammate, you or your teammate dies, and somebody has the resurrection, whatever it might be. It can't be a weapon or something, some type of item, right? And you use the item and it'll bring them back to life. And I know they have healing already, right? But healing takes time and all that. I'm talking about, you know, this would be something quick, right? I don't know how they'll work it. It doesn't have to be magic based, like you pull out a magic wand or sprinkle pixie dust or something. It doesn't have to be magic based. It could be technology based, just say. Nobody in there? Somebody healing near me? There must be somebody here, man. So the resurrection thing will be good for, you know, tight battles. You know what I mean? When, you know, the frustration of getting downed, when you spend so much time, you get downed really quick, but you have a teammate nearby, you don't necessarily have the time to go and, you know, do the full heal. You just have this option, and it's one time only, something like that there, right? And bam, you do the resurrection. And they just come straight back up, you know what I mean? Full health. That'd be pretty awesome. There's all these chests around here. Where's the other ones? Oh, we get these in here? I didn't even know that. Tough choice. That is not a tough choice. I'm going to swap that for that, and that, oops, and then that for that, and then that for that. Is this a full-blown military base? You could say a resurrection pepper. Yeah, so those are all my ideas. a long time to save it, but it's kind of hard playing it and talking at the same time. Should I even bother going in here? They dropped a lot of crap. Aw, man. Anyways, enough talking now for proper play. Like I always say, whenever my team lands here, they die in the first few minutes. Oh my gosh, now even he's dying. I think I'll call the stream quits for now. Talk about my ideas, that's good enough.